We don't fully touch on them. Strange New Worlds Season 2's darkest moment isn't dealt with in Season 3, hint Star Trek actor. Star Trek. Strange New Worlds has built its reputation on balancing the optimism of classic Trek with the emotional depth of modern storytelling. It's a show that celebrates exploration and humanity's better nature. But it's also not afraid to get dark. Season 2 proved that in several ways, from personal betrayals to tragic revelations, culminating in one of the series' most emotionally devastating moments. Yet, according to one of the show's stars, fans shouldn't expect that particular trauma to be addressed in full when Season 3 arrives. It's a surprising admission, especially considering how Strange New Worlds has handled continuity so far. The series has deftly revisited emotional wounds and moral consequences before, so why leave one of Season 2's darkest threads hanging? The haunting fallout of Season 2. Season 2 of Strange New Worlds was a roller coaster of tone, jumping from the joyous crossover musical Subspace Rhapsody to the nail-biting cliffhanger of the Gorn invasion and hegemony. But underneath its more bombastic stories, there was a quieter pain running through the season, the emotional toll on its characters. No storyline embodied that better than what happened with Lon Noonien Singh Christina Chong and her time travel episode, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Forced to erase a timeline where she found love with an alternate James T. Kirk Paul Wesley, Lon returned to her present utterly shattered. It was one of the most human, gut-wrenching moments in modern Star Trek, a portrait of loneliness and sacrifice that left fans heartbroken. By the end of the season, Lon seemed to be functioning as a Starfleet officer again, but viewers could tell she wasn't fine. Her silence and focus in later episodes hinted at someone burying immense emotional pain. For many fans, her unresolved heartbreak, combined with the loss of Hemmer and the uncertainty surrounding Captain Pike's fate, made Season 2 feel heavier than expected. And that's precisely the kind of darkness many assumed Season 3 would explore. But according to a recent comment from a Strange New Worlds actor, those expectations might be misplaced. We don't fully touch on them. A hint of what's to come. In a recent interview, one of the Strange New Worlds stars revealed that certain dark emotional beats from Season 2 won't receive the closure fans might hope for in the upcoming season. The actor reportedly said, "There are a few things from last season we don't fully touch on. They're still there, they shape who we are, but they're not front and center." While they didn't specify which things they meant, the statement instantly set the fandom buzzing. Was this a reference to Lon's unresolved heartbreak? Spock's loss of emotional control after his human experiment backfired? Pike's growing dread of his doomed future? Or perhaps the fallout from the Gorn attack, which left multiple lives hanging in the balance? Whichever it is, this revelation suggests that Season 3 might not dwell on emotional aftermath in the way fans expect. Instead, the series could be leaning back toward the spirit of the original series, where adventure and exploration often take precedence over lingering trauma. The fine line between episodic adventure and emotional continuity. One of Strange New Worlds' defining traits is its return to the classic Star Trek episodic format, while still allowing long-term emotional growth. But as the actor's comment suggests, the writers may be drawing a firmer boundary this time between ongoing feelings and ongoing storylines. That could mean Season 3 will acknowledge these emotional scars without making them the central focus. For example, Lon might subtly reference her heartbreak in quiet moments rather than revisiting the entire arc. Spock may continue to evolve from his half-human vulnerability, but the series won't pause to rehash the pain of his Season 2 transformation. This storytelling choice mirrors how the original series often operated. Characters endured trauma or moral crises, but continue their duties without extensive reflection. It's a style that keeps the pacing brisk and ensures every episode feels complete on its own, even if it sacrifices some emotional closure. Why leaving some wounds open might actually work. While it may sound disappointing that some Season 2 threads won't be fully resolved, it could ultimately make Strange New Worlds stronger. Not every emotional trauma needs to be neatly wrapped up on screen. In fact, letting some of them linger in the background can give the characters greater realism and depth. Take Lon, for instance. Her tragedy in Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow doesn't need constant revisiting to have meaning. The mere knowledge that she carries that pain adds dimension to every decision she makes going forward. Similarly, Spock's struggle to integrate his human and Vulcan sides doesn't need overt dialogue to feel present. His restraint, humor, or isolation in small moments can speak volumes. The same applies to Captain Pike, whose foreknowledge of his future accident still casts a long shadow. Even if the show